Hey guys, it's me, the Exploiter for you today. And today we're doing Iron Man or Iron Man Origins, episode 2. But I want to say, or I should have said Iron Man Origin or Origins, but whatever. Or maybe I should have called it Iron Man's Born. Nah, whatever you guys want, but I'm just gonna stick with the Iron Man Origins. But anyway, as Deku put the arc reactor on the table, he begins tinkering with it. However, he notices that the power source is dimming a lot, so he doesn't know what the heck this kid did. It was like this kid was a mad scientist. So Deku invest decided to fix it up and make it a bit better, and suddenly a huge burst of energy blasted through, like made a huge like a huge not a huge blast, but a huge shot, like a blue wave was like circling, like like a blue burst of energy shocked the whole, like it went like around, like a burst of energy went through the whole forest. No one heard it, but Deku woke, but Deku got back up wearing his engineering goggles, and when he removed them, he saw the arc reactor glowing. And was putting on the final touch, a gla- a, like a little like an iron circle or something. As he puts it on, the thing is emitting a lot of energy, and that's when Deku decides to say, "Whoa! I wonder if this. I wonder how fast will this charge my. I wonder if it could charge power anything." So he begins testing out everything. First, he tested out his Jarvis on his phone, but he purposely used up all the battery because he was playing video games on his phone for that. But when he made like a little charging port, when Deku plugged it in, the phone instantly got it charged so fast that like that Deku was like, not Deku, yeah Deku. Deku's phone was like overheating, and Deku felt the phone like getting warmer and warmer. So Deku quickly yanked the plug out and just left the phone alone. And he was checking if his his AI, like his quote unquote Project Jarvis was still online, still work, still operational. There you go. Sorry guys if I'm starting this because I had my motivation for this, but it's like almost gone, so I'm so sorry. So besides, I want to charge my phone, guys, but literally my mom's cutting the wood, or my cousin, so yeah. But anyway, as Deku got done doing his testing with all other powered things, he begins to wonder what what would happen if he got one of the thing that he found, one of its art hands off and powers it. He wonders. So Deku grabs a wrench and a screwdriver, and the hand comes completely off. But Deku grabs it as it's falling off. He does notice it's a bit heavy, but he's like wondering, huh, man, I wonder why is it so heavy. But anyway, as Deku puts the thing on the table next to like the the fully fixed arc reactor, and more improved and better, Deku begins making some cables, or hooking up some cables that was exposed from the hand. He begins attaching them to the ports of the hand or the wires. After he does that, Deku notices that there's something like glowing in the center of the hand. So when Deku is curious. As he's lifting up the hand fires a blast through the door and makes a hole. And Deku's like, "Whoa, is this a plasma hand or something? A plasma hand? Something's like." But anyway, Deku starts to like say, "Okay, I'm definitely going to keep this," because Deku thought, "Man, I." As Deku's like, "But first, have to patch up the hole first." Deku begins patching up the hole with some wood planks and some like leftover like concrete wall that was left over. So he begins doing that, and yeah, the hole is like now white, and the wood is now holding it. So yeah, and Deku does have power, but he's wondering if he should like make his own power source, because the generators downstairs make a lot of noise, but he made it like soundproof, so yeah. But anyway, since Deku had 2 weeks off or a week off, I can't remember for episode 2. I'll look it up. I'll watch my other video later. But as he was looking in there, I swear to God, okay. As he was looking in there, he noticed something. Okay, wait a minute. He noticed as he was looking, as he was looking at the arc reactor, he wondered if he could like repair most of the armor. So he begins taking off the left hand. Wait, did I say? Can't remember. Was it right or left? I'll look up later, but I remember definitely it was missing a right leg. So I did say a right leg and a left arm hand. So let's just say, yeah, he begins taking off the right arm of the shoulder and begins fixing it. Like he begins fixing it instantly and makes it much more better. As he puts it on, he notices it's a bit heavy. He notices it's a bit heavier, so he actually made something. He made some anti-gravity like metal to make it more lighter. After he got done doing that, the arm was like really light. And Deku's like, "Huh, man." As Deku's like moving around with the hands, like, "Whoa, I I wonder if I could fix this more." And that took Deku 2 days. So give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna yell at my mother. Sorry about that, guys. For me being not talking. Just I don't care, mom. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay. Anyway, as Deku was beginning to repair all the armor or repair what was still there from the Mark 22, something was making noise out of the left leg, right leg. Deku begins crouching down. He's been shaking it. He's like wondering, he's like, what's that sound? As Deku removes the foot and comes out a flash drive. He's like, a flash drive? What's it doing in the suit? As he begins like leaving his garage and going into his room and plugs it into his computer. and he sees a lot of files for different marks. And he sees like the other marks that are unlocked that are, and that's the Mark 7. Or all the way up to Mark 7. Yep. But as Deku's like, so, okay, just gotta do this, gotta do that. As Deku begins like uncrypting some files. However, the files are actually harder than expected to crack. However, he did manage to crack one file because since the Mark 22 had a chip in it, was still, or no, like active, he hit it and it unlocked. Basically told Deku everything about the suit. But there's only 41 files, so Deku will have to make the Mark 42 by himself. As Deku keeps reading, scrolling down about the information about this, and he found the name for it. It was called Hot Rod. Deku's like, Hot Rod. Reads the description. Can stand to extreme heat temperatures. And suits capable of flying and exiting out easily. As Deku looks at the description and the blueprints, he notices that there's a lot of flaws to the getting in and getting out of that suit of the Mark 42. Not 42, 40, yeah, 22. He begins copying the blueprints, but then he begins upgrading. But first, he wants to upgrade Jarvis a bit, so he begins upgrading Jarvis first, and Jarvis is now, let's just say he's at the medium level of Jarvis for being smart. And Deku asks Jarvis to make these files, like keep decrypting these files while I'm away, Jarvis, while I'm fixing the Mark 22, the first ever suit to be, actually built. Or, how shall I say this? Made. Like a man version. As Deku was beginning to repair the rest of the armor, and that took him about like 1 week to do that all. Because since Deku's smart, he knows like the stuff for it, so yeah. After Deku got that all done, all that was missing was like a right arm, right arm, a left hand, like the left hand and the right leg, like the right leg, I think. Yeah. So it was the left leg that was still there. So whatever I said about the like left leg, I should have said right leg. So whatever. But anyway, as Deku was grabbing, asking Jarvis for schematics for the hot rod, Jarvis gives Deku like the schematics to how to make the hands, and then Deku begins to making the blueprints a bit better, and now he knows how to make the Mark 22. As he begins like 3D, he now begins, because Deku has some holograms, no, like a hologram like building thing, so he begins like visualizing it and then building it as he looks at the blueprints that are like hologram in the hologram form. He manages to get the right arm like hand finished, and he begins like getting the leg too. And the suit was ready, but Deku had to do something first. He noticed that the thing says he needs some specific type of paint. Good thing Deku had some paint that he had left over. So he decided to paint the armor mostly black and silver, but he ran out of that color, so Deku was like, the only one I only have like just a bit of black left. and I have like orange, like I have a bit of orange, so. And Deku's like, okay, fuck it. As Deku's like had an idea, like, as Deku's like, its name's Hot Rod. Deku's like smiling, just like says, okay, here I go. And Deku completely painting it. As he finishes painting it, it looks like this. However, it does not have the arc reactor yet. Or don't want me to do that. There you go. After Deku was done the painting, he had to go back to work because that took him a week to get all the paint until all the paint was done drying. And of course, his boss said, "You're not going. You're working full. You're working 2 weeks since I gave you 2 weeks off." And Deku's like, "All right." After those 2 weeks, Deku was like, "Okay, so that's it. Okay." As the guy says, "Okay, since you got those 2 weeks done, I'm giving you 5 days off. Come back next week." As Deku's like, "Got it, boss." He doesn't really care. He just cares about like if the suit's like perfectly done. After Deku gets back, after Deku begins driving his truck to his house, when he gets there, he gets there, he parks his car and puts the ignition into parking. He gets out. He gets out of the door, begins walking out of it, and opening his door to his house in the woods. And when he gets in there, says, "Jarvis, is Hot Rod ready? Or is the Mark 22 ready?" Jarvis says, "Sir, Hot Rod's paint job. Hot Rod's paint has been completely finished. It is ready for the first test." And Deku's like, "Okay then, this should be fun." As Deku like slowly takes all the tape off the take all the tape off the suit, because Deku does not have like the things that would spray onto Deku. But that's when Deku began. Let me give a minute, guys. Oh, I know. That's when Deku begins to not break. Begins to rip off all the tape off the armor, and when it's all done, he's like, "Oh my God, it's beautiful." The Mark 22, the first ever suit that is actually like not a not a toy version at least. As Deku's like, so, as Deku looks at the chest, like, it needs the arc reactor. As Deku begins unscrewing the chest, and then Deku begins grabbing the arc reactor, and he like detaches it from, he begins to grab it. He grabs it and puts it into the suit. And then the suit's eyes began glowing. The suit's eyes began to flicker, and then boom, it was turned on. As Deku did the reprogramming for it, or, there was programming in it, but it was so like stupid and old that Deku had to make a whole new program from scratch. So when he did that, the suit was way better than expected. So Deku has actually made an interface with Jarvis. As Deku told Jarvis to go into the suit and test it out for him. Of course, Jarvis is at the medium level of Jarvis in the movie. Not the movie. Just in the movie. But the next episode for this, for episode 3, will be the full scale of Jarvis. And as Deku's like, "Jarvis, run the calibration and the system diagnostics." As Jarvis does this, Jarvis is like, "Sir, systems are 100% online. Right? Ready for shoot up, sir." As Mark says, as Deku says, "Okay." But Deku was like, "Man, I should have like, man, I wasted all my time on this, but it was worth it in the end." As Deku says, "Okay, Jarvis, Suit me up. As Deku's like puts out his arms, as Jarvis begins walking towards Deku in an iron shell, and begins opening up as Deku begins going backwards, hopping into the suit as the suit begins like suiting him up as the helmet like goes back down onto Deku's face and has this boom. As Deku's like, Jarvis, Jarvis, how much power are we at? As Jarvis is power at 100%. As Deku begins like saying, Jarvis, could you open the garage door? Jarvis says, the garage door's already been opened. As Deku begins leaving the garage, and then begins his ultimate test ever. Deku begins flying up. Says, Jarvis, we're testing the thrusters in 3, 2, 1. As Deku begins flying up to the sky faster than he predicted, but Deku told Jarvis to calculate everything to to make him comfortable. After certain about 2 hours at least, Jarvis calibrated the suit to Deku and how to operate it like better. As Deku's like, whoa, man, this suit's amazing. As Deku's like smiling, he says, if only they'd seen me now with this suit, they won't be laughing now. As Deku crosses his arms and just says, like laughing in the suit, just says, besides, Deku like stops for a minute to like think, says, wait, if I fix this, since I fixed this, that means I could be a hero. But Deku says, well, 100% my hero name's not gonna be fucking Hot Rod, because that's a stupid ass name. My name's, as Deku's like, I made a suit. It's made out of iron, and I'm a man in a suit. So, as Deku snaps his fingers, he's like, Iron Man. I want to see how long this video is. Okay. But anyway, guys, that's where we're ending that video off. I'm sorry, guys, if you did not enjoy it, please tell me in the comment section. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye!